chairman of the Senate Committee on Judiciary, Human Rights and Legal Matters, Senator Michael Okpeyemi, has distanced the committee from the recent freezing of the bank accounts of some youth leaders in the country. The senator said members of the committee first learned of the action reportedly carried out by the federal government through the media. The bank accounts of some youth leaders were reportedly frozen by the federal government over their involvement in the recent SARS protest. We read it in the news like every one of us. Our committee is also interested in knowing what is going on in this regard. As it is, our committee is neither in a position to either explain or defend. He said that the legislature will liaise with the executive to know what is going on. We will reach out to the executive, and if it is true what the stakeholders in charge are trying to achieve with this. Okpeyemi also disclosed that the committee is unaware of the recent arrest and imprisonment of 6 persons over allegations of sponsoring the terror group Boko Haram. This he explained will be investigated by the committee with a view to understand the true position of things. Still on Boko Haram, the committee chairman disclosed that the upper legislative chamber is working with the relevant committee of the House of Representatives of the amount earmarked for the prosecution of Boko Haram suspects. These are some of the issues before us as a committee. It is not just the Senate Committee on Judiciary, Human Rights and Legal Matters. The House Committee on Justice is also working with us on this matter. He stressed that the Senate Committee will scrutinize the 2021 budget of the judiciary so as to get justification for what they are proposing for 2021, even to the last kobo. That is the whole essence of this matter. They come and they have made their presentation, and we are interested in how the money appropriated last year was spent, even to the last kobo. Part of the reason you saw that we couldn't conclude the Attorney General is because there is need for more engagements. There's a need for further explanation and documentation on the figures that we have before. It will be premature to make any statement or come to any conclusion. He assured of the committee's readiness to ensure that all that are spent is accounted for and that the resources are well identified. I think a lot has happened in the last 1 year in terms of extra budgetary spending, and sometimes this is to be expected in a country that is prosecuting a war. Well, these people are really feigning ignorance that they know nothing about it. Of course, that is why most of the time, even when you call police, maybe if they are being called upon to ask of what could have happened, they will tell you, oh, they have not been briefed. Of course, maybe they have been briefed, or sometimes some of them don't even pick us. They will tell you, the journalist will tell you that they have sent text messages, they've not replied, they've called several times, no response. So we know all of these things. So now that you are aware, just go and do your investigation. I know they're still going to set up committee for this. Everything is setting up committee. Now that you know, let us now know how you are going to go about the whole thing. Talking about this Boko Haram thing, they said they didn't know. They just heard about it. Something that is, it's not as if maybe this is not social media. We heard it even from the country that it happened. So they will be feigning ignorant. Just like I said in one of my videos that, let us be expecting. We will be expecting what Lai Mohammed, Garba Shehu, and also Femi Adesina, what they are going to be saying. Of course, they will have a ready-made answer. They will try to justify it, whether the masses believe in it or not, but they have to say something. Especially Lai Mohammed, who is always saying, this Boko group, they have been defeated technically, and that is what it stands for. I don't just understand. They try to say whatever they want to say. That it is not in our own right to believe what we want to believe. So that is just the way it has always been. Of course, everybody will be playing to the gallery. I could remember some of the State House of Assembly when they were talking, especially Lagos, because a lot of them, we saw them talking about this whole thing, talking about it, and majority, like 95% of them, they were not even blaming themselves. They were not even blaming just to see the root cause of this whole problem. No. It was just like 1 or 2 persons, and as soon as those people started to mention that, that they themselves They themselves need to do something, that they need to know the root cause of all this problem. Before you know, the Speaker of the House started, that you cannot be talking like this, you cannot be saying this and that, because the one of the honorable is it what did they even call them? Whether one of the lawmaker. Let me use that word. Maybe if that's not the right word, use feel it for us. So it was not like, we need to know the problem. We talk about hoodlums. We need to know the problem of this whole thing. If we do our own part, I'm sure this whole thing wouldn't have degenerated to what it is now. As soon as he made mention of that, because the speaker already knew that he was coming to say, oh, that the government must do their own part. They don't want to hear that at all, that they need to do their own part. Everything is all about the masses. They are the ones that, as the receiving end, they have to blame them, and they have forgotten that they are the people who have done that. And that's why most of the time, and when you say, oh, Nigerian politicians are corrupt, we still give, for the benefit of the doubt, we still have some few percentage, or just that the percentage might not be as high as expected, maybe 2%, but we just give those people respect, because we cannot just use one brush to paint everybody. So I could see that two people, and they didn't allow them to speak. They just, they just shut them. But the ones that were talking about the masses, that were, blaming the masses, complaining that the masses did it and that hoodlums, they gave them time. They spoke at length. But the ones that were trying to say, oh, we need to check ourselves and know what caused this whole thing, immediately they will just say, oh, don't say that. This Obata. Well, by their fruit you shall know them. We know those who they pay allegiance to. So these people can still feign ignorance. They might say, oh, we didn't know anything about it. We didn't do this and this and that. Maybe at the end of the day again, we are not going to hear anything. We are not going to hear anything again based on this issue. Everybody will be feigning ignorance. This is the same social media they are telling us, say, oh, they have to regulate social media, this and this and that. They heard this whole thing through social media. All of them now, they have ganged up. They've ganged up to say, oh, social media must be this. But unknown to them, it's going to affect them. Seriously, it's going to affect them. You can't do without it. You can't do without it, because that is the fastest way to get across information to everybody. So let us continue to see how they are going to be playing these all games. Well, how will they know? They only know about themselves. Do they care about your well-being? No. Do they care about Nigerians? No. All they care is about the filthy lucre. Like senators, God will save us from these scavengers. Until we bombard the Senate before you know. Honorable, I support the motion. We can recognize your presence. Good for nothing, Senator. Okay. Now that you know, do something about it. Don't make Nigerians live in regret for voting you all into power. And I think before now, everybody used to concentrate on, oh, the president and the governorship election, presidential election and governorship election. But now, the people who are to do the work, and people have been saying it, but people have not gotten that message. Those in House of Reps and those in upper chamber, we need to pay attention to them, because we always leave them and they do whatever they like. We need to put fire for their body to know, say, yes, we mean business. So guys, let us hear your opinion. Let us know what you think about this.